It is time for the Republican-American Report. Ruth, of course, covers our area for the Republican-American, and you can find their articles online, rap-am.com, or, hey, in the newspaper. Good morning, Ruth.
Good morning, and welcome to Kent this morning.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be a beautiful day.
Well, it's going to be gorgeous.
Yep,
in the mid-60s today, and tomorrow even is going to be around 60. And then it'll start to go down a little bit, but still, at least looking pretty good.
Can't complain.
Not at all.
I've got to start off with something with you, Ruth, and I had a couple of emails this morning. We have posted a couple of different things coming up. There's a couple of different fundraisers coming up for the trip to the Galapagos Islands, and people have contacted me and said, "Well, why are they doing the fundraisers? They're canceled." No, they're not. What was canceled right now are the out-of-state school trips.
Correct.
And sometime this week, they're going to have a meeting and decide about the Galapagos Island trip. And who knows, even though the club's not going to Italy, that one might be affected as well. So they're going to have, I just wanted to bring this up at top so people know that those trips have not been affected yet, except for the one to Italy, which was transferred to go to Scotland and stuff like that.
Right.
But the decision will be made on the out-of-country trips. Now, Hotchkiss has really done an amazing thing. The students that were going to go to any country that was affected home for the break, they've found off-campus housing to stay in the country.
Yeah, I think Kent has done the same.
Yeah.
The kids are from China and other parts of the world are staying put here in places. So, yep.
Because you have to. It's just the thing to do.
Once they go back, you can't let them come back here.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I just love, as a sidebar, of course, China isn't letting anybody in. There's that, too.
Yeah, right. So, welcome. Huh?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And I think we've not seen the end of all the effects of all this.
Oh,
no.
No.
But we continue, and we hopefully keep everybody healthy, and hopefully we don't have cases here in the northwest corner, but they're getting closer. Anyway, we continue, as we said. We had a huge meeting at the high school on Monday night. If you saw the photo of people scrunched into the library to talk about football and to keep it. People are very passionate about their sport. So that was a big meeting.
It's one of those things that I think it's the thing about football is that it's such a tradition at the high school.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to almost the beginnings.
It goes back to days when they had 5-man foot or 6-man foot.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. And Champ Parati got up and said, "My dad played, I played, my sons have played. We're going back a long time." And so the board was quite receptive to listening and said, we support football. We can't make any promises, but again, it's declining enrollment has had an effect on everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And speaking of high school, the ABC committee will be meeting this week, obviously to discuss the future of the region, with Pam Vogel leaving as superintendent at the end of the school year. So that group will be coming up with the parameters, I guess, of the search. We don't know at this point what the plan is, but we'll keep you posted. And should be interesting. And here we go again. Marshall, how many searches have we been through?
Just a ton. And I think that they're going to add some. I would hope that the Region 1 board is talking about, anyways, about broadening it and adding some more community members to it.
I hope so. That always sets well with people. You can't, if you limit it to just those on the boards, it just people feel the process is not transparent. They don't feel included, and there's nothing wrong with getting input from folks who live here and stay here.
Yeah.
So we'll be watching that. Had an interesting week with a lot of talks going on. Maria Horn spoke about the upcoming legislative session at Noble the other day. She's, of course, our representative. Have you heard any rumblings about an opponent for her?
No, but I know Brian Oler said he wasn't going to run, but I know he's getting a little more active there. But I haven't heard. We know that there's already a set-up fight for the Senate seat. for our area. But I haven't heard any other rumblings about.
People were asking that during her talk, and I have not heard anything, so I don't know.
By the way, that talk also is on CATV6 as well.
Yes, Mike was there. The good old Mike. And some other talks during the week, which were very interesting. Mike Hanlon, a student at the high school, spoke at the Region 1 meeting about the trying to spruce up the front of the high school, noting it was named the most beautiful high school in the state in one of those surveys. They're going to take down some of the trees that are there and put in some new ones that will flourish, hopefully. Again, we talk about tradition at the high school. The folks who are on the Landscape and Arboretum Committee and the kids who are in the Landscape Design Committee, I mean, everybody feels so strongly to ensure that building keeps its beauty and its dignity. It is a gorgeous building, and it's nice that it's being kept up. And I guess, have you seen the former Lakeville Journal office is now just a pile of rubble. It was taken down. The bank bought it, the building on Bissell Street, and it is. They plan to put a new building in for its operations. So things are changing around here.
Amazingly so. Yeah.
So looking ahead tonight, we have.
It's tonight. Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. Canaan Planning and Zoning Commission will be talking, no doubt, about the moratorium on boarding houses. We have the doubleheader in Falls Village, Finance Board and Selectmen. Tomorrow is Sharon Board of Selectmen. As we said, Wednesday is the ABC Committee. It just keeps going and going and going. So lots of stuff going on.
I think tomorrow the Kent Board of Selectmen, also in Cornwall, the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Housatonic River Commission. I mean, it is a full week because when I go through this each week, like on Wednesday, there's a regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission in Sharon. There's also the ABC committee meeting, which they're going to discuss that. We talked about the superintendent search, the town meeting in Salisbury at 7:30 on Wednesday
on the
as
11th,
well.
Yes, right. They're going to talk about renewing leases for a couple of their buildings. Yep.
And the Region 1 Board of Education is having a budget subcommittee meeting on Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're getting into budget season. Yeah. Well, we're into budget season, so we'll be getting numbers out. The Salisbury Selectmen did send us a budget. Have to look at it and see where it's going. Number crunches. Here we come. So, busy times, and
it's and the busy time is this year is also once again what we is headed by what we talked about the coronavirus, because it's on everybody's mind. It's not really affect us drastically here yet, but like everything else, precaution and wise pre-planning steps ahead might cause some different inconveniences for people, for students, for schools, and for I'll be honest with you, for any community event.
Absolutely. We have the Harlem Wizards coming up next week, and that brings everybody into the gym. They may be looking at that. That's to raise money for all the travel clubs. Any group, where there's going to be a crowd in a contained place is. Will be questioned.
Is subject to that's exactly right. So we just tell people to keep aware and keep
washing
contact.
your hands and just going. Yeah,
and it will end. This is the thing.
And it will end. And as we said, you can't panic and just go on with your lives, but be careful.
And any information that has to be dispersed will be done through the newspapers and also through the radio station. So,
just one other thing: the bleacher replacement at the high school has been put off. It will not be done in April as had originally been planned. It's going to be done after school as well.
But it's also going to be cheaper, we found out, which is good.
It is. I found somebody to take away the old stuff free, so that's nice.
Good. All right, Ruth, well, get those roller skates.
Another busy week, and we'll hopefully be out there catching it all.
All right, Ruth, we'll check with you next week.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Take care. Ruth Epstein, the Republican-American Report here on Robin Hood Radio. You can find it on demand at robinhoodradio.com on demand, the Republican-American Report. And follow her, of course, at RAP-AM and in the newspaper as well.